Hey y'all, welcome back to In the Kitchen with Baker Girl. Thank you, Jesus. It is another beautiful day to be in the kitchen, and it is a cold day in the kitchen today. So I'm going to show you how I make this delicious lasagna soup. Now, I have a Dutch oven. It's hot, and I'm adding in a generous amount of olive oil. Be generous, don't be stingy with olive oil. It's good for you. Adding in a diced onion. Do a little crying, a little tears, but don't worry, the soup is worth the tears. Add in a diced red bell pepper, and I threw in a little bit of green because green bell pepper has a different flavor. Mama loved green bell peppers, and I do too. Now I have 1 pound of ground meat. I'm using ground venison. You can use beef, you can use turkey, you can use chicken, whichever one you want. Add that in. I did add in 3 cloves of diced or minced garlic. Nobody really dices garlic. Minced garlic, yeah. Adding in some spices. So some za'atar, one of my very favorite spices. Chipotle powder. Add a little bit of heat, a little bit of spicy smokiness. And I'm also adding in some smoked paprika. It doesn't make it taste like chili or anything. It's just add another layer of kind of like smoky flavor to it. Some dried oregano. You can use some regular dried Italian herbs, that'd be fine. And some red pepper flakes. I was generous because I do like red pepper flakes. And some black pepper. Of course, my chicken bouillon. If you know, you know. And I buy the large containers. Those little teeny tiny things just don't do it for me. I need the humongous size. And some low sodium soy. Add that in and then just give it a nice stir. You're still working on medium heat, not too low. Let it cook for a few minutes. You got to cook out those raw spices. And I'm adding in some tomato paste from the tube. I like Trader Joe's tomato paste from the tube, but anyone will do. But I mean, you don't waste tomato paste once you use what you need and stick the tube back in the refrigerator. Now, you do need to cook out tomato paste for a few minutes. That's one thing some people don't do. They just add it in there and then keep going. You need to let it cook out with the spices and whatever by themselves before you add other things. Now, I'm adding in some other things. Those other things would be 1 can of diced tomatoes, and I'm adding in 1 can of tomato sauce. You can use homemade, which I thought about using my homemade, but then I only needed a small amount, so I just used the can, but you can use homemade. This garlic Parmesan seasoning I have never bought before. I'm not a spice buying person, but it smells really, really good. It's like lemony, cheesy, herby. I like it. So if you see it, I mean, give it a try. It's by Weber. Yeah, I decided to add a little bit more because it smelled really good. It's like, it's difficult to describe. And I was adding some Parmesan to the I was adding Parmesan to the soup anyway, so I figured might as well go ahead, toss it in there. Now I'm adding in some water. I had to add actually more water than that because, of course, once you add the lasagna noodles, you need more. They can soak it up. So bring this to a simmer, cover the pot, bring it to a simmer. Let it start to simmer for a little while. And then once it's nice and bubbly, start breaking in those lasagna noodles. Now, let me tell you something about these lasagna noodles. Those things, we started up really nicely. Wasn't no problem. And then all of a sudden, snapping those things, and noodles was going every which way, bits and pieces. And maybe next time I'm going to have to do that differently. But I used about 5 of these, and I did not realize how dramatic breaking lasagna noodles. Oops, see, there's a piece went flying behind the stove. I didn't realize how dramatic breaking lasagna noodles was going to be in the kitchen. But next time, I'm going to have to develop a different method for doing this. If you all have a better method of breaking these up, because you can't put it in a bag. It would just cut the bag because they're dry. If you have a better method, leave it in the comments, please. I would love to hear your suggestions on how not to make a mess. Now, the soup has simmered. The noodles are done. I'm adding in an entire bag of fresh spinach. You can add more. You can add less. You can leave it out. You can add kale, whatever you want. And I'm adding in 1/4 cup of heavy cream and about 2/3 cup of whole milk, because this soup was not made for a diet. And of course, I finished off with some Parmesan cheese. I hope you like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, a like, and follow for more.